Welcome to episode 88 of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles, and the person I just... nope, I can't remember the word now. Go on.
I'm Nick Gunning.
Yeah.
You were monologuing for a minute there.
Yeah,
You just jumped right into it.
Passive-aggressive, that's what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
You just said something mean, so I
Uh-huh.
decided to start the show before you were totally sat.
It was playfully mean.
What I did?
No, that was just childish. Not really, man. Should we high five? Let's high five
all
for
right.
the listeners.
There you
Bam!
go.
We did it.
Episode 88. That means in 2 episodes, we're going to be talking about books from the 90s. We're going to
Digging
get it in
into
the
the
time
90s.
machine.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the 90s.
Time circuit's on.
We got a sweet theme for that, too.
Yes, we do.
Speaking of sweet themes.
Oh, my gosh.
I won't say when.
Folks.
We have our first fan art submission, I
Yeah.
guess you'd call it.
It's a thing of beauty.
We will play it, but first we're going to get through some of the introductions
Yes.
and everything.
Yep. We got some fun stuff coming down the road anyway. Today, we're going to be talking about how to dig yourself out of a book rut.
But Nick, I'm stuck in a book rut.
Well, you've come to the right place because we have listener suggestions and our own suggestions
Actually,
and some horror stories.
I'm doing pretty horror stories.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Is that of your own?
Yeah. Usually just I make
Yeah.
others
Are
around
we gonna?
me
We're gonna
very
call.
unhappy.
We're gonna call your wife,
Yeah.
and she's gonna tell us
Yeah.
about you trying to pick a book off your shelf.
Yeah. She's not a fan.
Please, Nick. The child needs to go to sleep.
That's pretty much
He
it.
can go to sleep when he randomly picks the correct book.
That's right. So we're going to be digging into that a little later.
Yes.
But up front, let's talk bookmark. What have you been reading?
What haven't I been reading?
Tell me.
Most every book in existence. I can only read like 1 or 2 books at a time.
Wow.
So, it's better to ask me what have I been reading. So,
Okay.
Go ahead.
What have you been reading?
All right. More like no. I read Stargirl by
Oh.
Jerry Spinelli.
I've never read that.
Well, you're an ignoramus.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. I had never read it until now either. I had to read it for a book club.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And?
It was pretty good.
Really? 'Cause
it
that's
made-
not how it seemed like you felt about it.
Really?
Yeah.
What did I say? I think I gave it 4 stars. Let me double check. Ooh, yeah, 4 stars.
Oh, okay. You didn't seem to be liking it while you were reading it, but
No, now I'm. It took me 2 days, but I did it because I waited until the last minute to read it.
yes.
And I liked it.
Good.
It's just about a girl who comes in and she's weird and does nice things for everybody, and everybody at the school thinks she's weird. So it's about
You.
accepting people who are different.
Oh, okay. All right. Different. People who are different.
yeah.
Got it.
But
Got
it made me kind of sad.
Oh,
So,
well,
but I think it makes some people happy.
that's good.
But it also made me kind of sad.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a good book to have a book club on.
I didn't
did,
finish.
did the kids like it?
Yes. Well, actually, it was the one that had the most mixed results, but it got a lot of discussion.
Well, that's
and
good.
everybody liked all the characters except for the main character, whose name is I can't remember. He's a boy.
Okay.
And just because he dates Stargirl, but then he doesn't really like defend her and stuff.
interesting.
He's
Oh,
kind
I
of a
see.
jerk.
Sounds like it.
I tried to finish, but I couldn't read Blood Red Snow White by Marcus Sedgwick. We talked
Oh,
about this
yeah.
in a sexy new book club
Right.
a while back.
I remember.
It reads like he wrote a bunch of poetry, and then they're like, "Hey, you got another book for us?" And he just put something together. It was really dull, and I didn't love Stairway to Heaven, but not Stairway to Heaven. That's the
That's a song.
Led Zeppelin song. What was the book called? Ghost of Heaven.
Okay.
Which has a stairway going upwards. That's why.
Well, I see why
I
you were
actually
confused,
love
yeah.
Stairway to Heaven. Yes. Though my preferred album is Houses of the Holy.
Okay.
Anyway, we don't need to talk about Zeppelin right
No,
now.
that's fine.
Unless, did you want to?
No, thank you.
Okay.
But you are wearing a Zeppelin t-shirt.
I am wearing
so
a Zeppelin t-shirt.
Good for
my,
you.
My sister Erin got it for me for Christmas.
Nice play, Aaron.
Yeah. And right now I'm reading.
Remember when I kept accidentally insulting your cousin Brianna?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey, Brianna. How's married life?
Who-
I guess she can't talk back.
No, that's true. Though let me tell you, growing up with her, she
Yeah.
does talk back.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm reading The Drowned World by J.G. Ballard. It's
YA?
no.
Oh.
It's
A.
no.
Just A.
It's more than 50 years old.
Okay.
It's an adult science fiction book.
Okay.
What happens in it is like 70 or 80 years ago, the sun experienced some solar flare, solar radiation bursts and everything, and now
Okay.
it's hotter than normal. So the ice caps have melted, and now the world is becoming a lot more like it's becoming hotter. Like now it's like normally it's like 112 degrees wherever the people are. but it's really kind of just like exploring what the world is like post-flood.
Well, that sounds fun.
Also slightly topical.
Yeah.
It was funny that I found that because 2140 by Kim Stanley Robinson just came out, but his is a modern take and like focusing on New York, if that was to happen. So, but so far so good. It kind of reminds me a bit of The Plague by Albert Camus. Did I say that right?
I don't know. Oh, Albert Camus?
Yeah, Camus. It's that S. I
Yeah,
just
I
want
know,
to
it's
say
very
it's
confusing.
so
I
bad.
know,
S
yeah.
is one of my favorite letters.
Yeah. It's a great letter. Very,
So
very common.
The style of writing reminds me of that.
Okay.
And it's kind of, people have said it's a little bit like The Heart of Darkness, but I haven't read The Heart of Darkness yet.
Okay.
But I have seen Apocalypse Now. So. And Aguirre, The Wrath of God. Aguirre? I can't remember
don't
that one
know.
either. All right, it's not your thing. And I did just pick up This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp. Anyways, this
I'll
was on
accept
the,
it,
this
yes.
was very popular a year ago or so. I think it was on the New York Times bestsellers list for teen books, for young adult books. It deals with the school shooting, and I have stayed away from it because that's a
Heavy.
depressing subject.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it basically follows the lives of 4 different characters during the 59 minutes that this takes
Oh
place.
wow.
So
That's intense.
Yeah, so I'll
be interested to hear what you
I'm
think.
kind of in a good mood lately. So
You just want to wreck that.
I feel like I should do it while I'm in a good mood.
I see, yes.
And not when I'm already depressed.
Right.
But also, it showed up on a lot of it seemed like it was an important read. So
Okay.
I'll tell you if it's good or if it earns that acclaim. So I read some reviews of people not happy with its presentation.
Interesting.
Of those incidents and those acts. So we'll see how it goes. So if I'm in a very bad mood last week, it's because I probably finished that book.
Okay. All right.
So
Got it. All right. Well, it sounds like you got some intense reading ahead
yeah.
of you.
Also, the second season of Documentary Now is on Netflix, so I'm watching that.
Big news.
So funny.
Okay.
Fred Armisen and not Bill Hader. Yes, Bill Hader. It's just so funny.
All right.
They do impressions of who's the reporter from the Clinton era. He was on 30 Rock one time. He's Southern.
There's so many options. Dan Rather.
Who?
Dan Rather.
No, he's not a reporter. He worked with the Clinton.
Oh.
With George Stephanopoulos.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
Oh. Yes, I do. James Carville.
Yes, James
Yeah.
Carville. So they did they did one on a parody of the War Room called nope, I can't remember the name of the episode. But they were playing Stephanopoulos and Carville.
Okay.
And it was just kind of funny.
That sounds funny.
Bill Hader's up there. He's like, I'm gonna cry now. It's gonna be a weird cry. So enjoy. And Fred Armisen spends the whole time thinking about how cute he must appear to everyone
Yeah.
and rating everybody as a 9 or a 10. He's like, these posters of these women we have on the wall, they're more like 7s or 8s. Can we take those down? Get maybe a 9. It's ridiculous.
Well,
So, it's
I've
funny.
never seen the show, so I cannot.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't add anything to this
the
conversation.
Slattery? What's his name from
John
John
Slattery?
Slattery? Yeah, he was in one episode in the first season as a silent movie director, and he was hilarious because it was a silent movie. So he
Do
had
we
a-
have this? Is this on DVD?
no, they haven't put it on DVD.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix and online and stuff. But
Okay.
If it was on DVD, I'd probably get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a
So.
good fit for the collection.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading some things. I finished Batman Volume 2, I Am Suicide. That's the only graphic I did this week.
Squad?
No.
Okay.
I liked the first volume of the new Rebirth.
I am
Batman,
Gotham.
But I did not like this one. It was just confusing, and I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't care. But the art's cool, and I really like the new Batman design. So
Okay.
then for normal books,
Is Catwoman a villain yet? Again?
sort of. I read High Profile by Robert B. Parker. This is one of his Jesse Stone books, but it also includes Sonny Randall, and I'm officially have come out against this
combination,
pairing.
this team up.
It just feels so much like fan fiction.
What's Sonny Randall like? Because Jesse Stone is very better go outside. Outside's
Yeah,
hot.
Sonny's not really like that, but their story is their shtick is kind of similar in that they have this ex-spouse that they can't seem to get away from. They're kind of solitary characters.
Yeah.
They have a dog that they
Yeah.
like. They're detectives.
Look, I'm not saying every male and female have to hook up,
Yeah.
but is there romance between the two?
Of course there's romance between
Yes!
the two of them. And the thing is, I totally buy them going on some case that brings them together. They have a fling, one and done. But this is he's trying to do romance and love at first sight, and it doesn't work with his writing, and just is
Do
unbelievable.
you think he
in
did
these
that
characters.
because Robert B. Parker have been like super in love with Sonny Randall?
Yeah.
As a character?
Yeah, that must
He's
be.
like, well, of course he's going to be in love with her.
It made sense to sort of bring them together, but the way it was done.
Yeah.
So I think it's over. I think we're done dealing with these two
Ah.
teaming up. I hope so.
Okay.
So I can't really recommend that one too well.
Would you read about them just going on vacation together?
Maybe.
Like having
that
barbecue?
might be better. Yeah.
Yeah, going to like Hollywood?
So normally I would say yes, Robert B. Parker, woo, but this one
Ooh.
left me a little like meh. I finished Homecoming by Cass Morgan. This is book 3 of the 100, whatever you call a 4-book
I
series.
think the quadrilogy. Actually, it's not. I think it's called something else.
No. Do you know? Are they done?
The 4th book is out. I don't know if they're done. I don't know enough about the series.
I didn't realize, like, when I was looking into this series, they announced the CW show before the books even came out.
What?
Yeah, and then
Well,
they've
I
just
think
been
even
sort of published all
the first
along.
book has the TV show.
It does.
as the cover.
The
so-
original one is not the TV show. There is a version that is in the TV show cover, but everything
Okay.
else just is.
Yeah.
So I thought that these were like older, but no, they're like right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're done or not.
They're
I
right
haven't
now.
heard.
They're now. They're hip.
Yeah.
They're cool.
But I haven't heard about a book 5. Have you?
no.
Okay, so who knows?
I have
Maybe
heard
that's
about a
the
book
last.
6.
Interesting. You're
Yeah.
gonna skip. That's an interesting choice. Well, it's Poetry Month, so I read a few books of poetry. Mm-hmm. I read "Women Whose Lives Are Food, Men Whose Lives Are Money" by Joyce Carol Oates, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. She's always has that like quirky, like vaguely unsettling depth to her work, and it was definitely true in these
What's it
poems.
say about my American sensibility that when you said food, I just got hungry, even though I had just had lunch?
That's
Like,
just
you just
you.
said a title of food. I'm like, ooh.
You have to get that tapeworm taken care of. It's
Oh,
really,
sure, yeah.
It's starting to.
I
control
thought it
your
was
life.
maybe a separate thing.
No.
Okay, go
So
on.
I like that. I'm doing a poetry reading at one of the assisted living centers in town.
Have you picked it?
And yeah, I'm gonna read a couple from Naomi Shihab Nye and a couple from Jim Zoller and a few other things. But
Jim Zoller of Houghton,
so
Houghton
yes,
College.
Yes,
that's a local
true.
college.
Yep, he's been here a couple times. He did a reading once, and then he did a great thing on banned books. We have
Yes.
both of his books here: Simple Clutter and Living on the Floodplain. I particularly like Simple Clutter, so I basically reread that in trying to pick some new poems and was impressed with it all over again. So we have it in our collection if you want to check it out. I also read Bestiary by Donica Kelly, who doing a poetry reading here on April 25th, 7 o'clock, April 25th. So if you're
Short notice, listeners.
If you're
No, you've been
listening to
knowing all
this
that, yeah.
prior to that time,
Yeah, good luck.
Come join us.
Get over here.
She was long listed for the National Book Award. Very decorated poet, so we're excited to have her. But anyway, I read that collection as well,
Okay.
and I think that's it.
You're reading a turtle book.
I'm currently reading The Turtle of Oman by Naomi Shihab Nye.
Oh man, you got that book before me.
Yeah,
Get it?
yeah.
Turtles of.
Oh man.
Yeah.
yeah. I get it.
You
Yes.
added like an accent / twang there.
Well, that's how you have to say it.
Oh, okay.
It's not oh man.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, I just started
Reader's
this.
Theater.
And that's what I'm currently.
Okay, how far are you
I'm
into that?
currently reading about 100 pages.
Oh, well, how do you like it so far? Oh, oh boy.
I don't love it, but it's at a point now where it's like the next step.
Yeah.
You know, it could take it.
Yeah.
So
When you can tell you don't like something, and you don't want to talk about how you don't like something when you do your Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
no, okay.
I can't do it.
Here's the honest truth. Are you ready? It's about a family moving, and a lot of it is just like the kid not wanting to move. And I'm ready to take that next step where they actually do.
You're ready to move.
and we're still kind
Yeah.
of in the
You're like, shut up, kid, get in the
preamble
car.
period. So
Sure.
you know.
You are such a dad.
Anyway, so yeah, that's right. So I'm reading that, and we do have this in our collection as well. So
Are you-
it's a new young adult.
Yes. Are you constantly yelling at the book like, you're burning daylight, kid?
Pretty much, yeah. Don't make
Okay.
me come back there,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, all
Yeah.
the time. So, yeah, that's
We're
it for
renting
me.
this tractor hourly.
That is it for me. Do you like poetry? Do you read poetry?
I don't like poetry. I think we've talked about this before.
Okay.
I have tried
Yeah.
with multiple books. There's been like one collection, I can't remember the name of it, that I enjoyed. And also the book itself smelled like instrument reeds,
Okay.
like saxophone reeds.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice.
That is, yeah, it's an added. Sure.
But I usually don't like poetry unless it's inside prose.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'll read fantasy
Yeah.
books and there'll be poems in there. I'm like, oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
But I can't just sit there and read poetry.
I always want to, you know, like whenever I'm, usually it's some work related thing where I'm like reading a book of poems.
Right.
I'll find some that like I find really moving that I really liked. I guess basically I like them when I like them, and I'm not great at like knowing where to look and which ones to find. One of the things I really like about Jim Zoller's book Simple Clutter is that it's all just kind of, you know, about household things and everyday things, but the meaning that comes out is really like profound. Right. I like that.
I liked the crossover by Kwame Alexander.
Yeah.
And that was all prose, but it's also telling a story through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah, let's move on to book news.
Let's do it. What do you got?
You know what? Before we move on to book news,
Yeah.
I think this is a good time
Okay.
to introduce our first piece of fan art.
Let it ride.
Everybody, what you're about to hear is something submitted to Ben Lehman, who has given us themes before.
That's true. Yeah, he wrote the original theme.
Yep, our Lonely Hearts Book Club
Lonely
theme.
Hearts Book
And
Club.
in about when we do our 90s thing, we have another theme for that.
Yeah,
We've got a sexy new books theme as well.
Yeah.
So this wasn't commissioned by us. We weren't saying, Ben, give us some fan art here. This was of his own desire to show his love.
Yeah.
So settle in. You can if you decide you don't like this, it ends in 3 minutes. So go ahead and just skip ahead. And also, if you do like it, we're gonna post it separately.
Yep.
So all right, here you go.
Yo, NIC and Eric. Prairie. Prairie. All right, stop. Gather round and listen. All the books with a brand new edition of podcast. The Grab told of me weekly with literary goodness. Fleshing at your speakers. Will it ever stop? Yo, I hope not. As long as Nick and Eric keep coming in hot. Turn up the volume. They rock it in tandem. Scanning the nooks and crannies of the fandoms. First, here are the bookmarks at. Will it be a graphic novel or a hardback? And secondly, there'll be foreseeing unpublished books that'll be released and they go through the Times bestsellers. Want to know what people are buying? They'll tell you. In a reading slump, yo, they'll save it. Check you out a book and it'll be your favorite. The public. The public. The public. The public. Now that the episode is cooking, Mike's on fire and the hosts are booking. After the Times list has ended, it's time to go to the featured segment. Learning in the Lonely Hearts Book Club. Items from the shelves that need some love. Some it's closer to charity, thinning the turkey herd, or Blake's therapy. Rolling in the studio with verbal sparks flying to and fro. They're keeping it smarter while talking B. Parker with way more chemistry than Nixon Carver. Come on, there's no reason to stop, right? They might give a different author a spotlight. Gaiman or Grisham, yo, or they continue with the one. Joyce Carol Oates, talk of the topics like types of awards. Unless Eric stays on Animorphs, they'll tell us. Fiction of the decade, beyond the page to the prices of mayonnaise steady. With jokes hitting targets, don't get them started on the topic of darkness. Book shots come up for ridicule, having success, physical or digital, falling off the list real fast. But Jimmy P probably lastly finding library news that's happening, cruising more than the woman in cabin 10, finishing it up, laying down the tracks. Now all that's left is to join the giraffes in a reading slump. Yo, they'll save it. Check you out a book and it'll be your favorite. The public. The public. The public. The public. Go read. It's like giving your brain food. Even if Twilight is the source of your main food. Get down with reading all year round. If camp books or tape will give you sound. From Michael Crichton to Herman Melville. From VA to the town of Wellsville. Across the land, this is a novel concept. We make it work. All the books give it context. Staying ready to injure for the uselessness of Roger the intern. Now so long. But before I say done, a closing statement. Then I gotta run. Just who needs a character like Tom Sawyer? When you got Clint McGavin, cowboy lawyer. In a reading slump, yo, they'll save it. Check you out a book and it'll be your favorite. The public. The public. The public. Okay, please ignore the time and effort that I put into this. Friendly reminder that Vanilla Ice's real name is Robert Van Winkle. Yeah. Wow, this goes on for a while. Alright, well, I'm out. Peace.
Nick, how do you feel?
I love it. I just love all the little bits and things that I've almost forgotten about.
Yeah. We're a freaking institution.
I guess, yeah.
We're a freaking institution.
All those
is what we
references.
are.
I'll tell you who doesn't like it. Roger.
That's true. He got
Roger, our
called
senior intern.
out.
Yeah, he heard that. He was really jamming,
Yeah.
because he's hip for his age. Obviously, he's into the rap music.
If you're wondering, he is an 80-year-old with an earring.
Yeah,
so
he's got it.
He's
yeah,
cool.
But Harrison Ford style, so it's
Yeah.
nice. But he didn't like that at all. So he's
No.
pretty angry. So
Yeah.
Ben, expect your mailbox to get some choice words from Roger.
So, and everybody, as I said, that's going to be posted on our SoundCloud separately.
Absolutely.
So, maybe we'll get a sequel song someday.
Maybe. So anyway,
We don't
thank
need
you.
it, but-
Thank you to Ben Lehman. Thank
Yes,
you
Ben.
for our regular themes. Thank you for that beautiful piece of music.
Sure, yeah. Thank you
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for Vanilla Ice.
That's right, yeah.
For giving him
Shout
the
out to
inspiration.
Vanilla Ice,
yeah.
sure.
Uh,
All right, so now let's talk
now
book
let's
news.
go down to book news. There's this book called The Last Neanderthal.
Okay.
Coming out April 25th. All these books I'm about to say are coming out on April 25th,
Okay.
2017.
All right.
I just wanted to bring up The Last Neanderthal because it reminds me of who I work with. Actually, go on.
No, it's all right.
This says it's so. This is one of those. What do you call those? It's not historical fiction. It's like
Like,
far historical fiction. You know what I mean? Like it's dealing 40,000 years in the past.
historical fiction.
No, they call that something else.
I don't know the name.
Early history.
Sure.
Anyway, this woman says she wrote The Bear.
Okay.
Do you remember that
No.
early history book about the bear?
Okay.
I feel like you've seen it 8 times.
All right.
Like it shows up in our book sale all the time. Oh wait, no wait. That's a different book. The
Okay.
Bear is about a camping trip
Oh,
with the family.
okay.
So that's different.
You're talking about like Jean M. Owl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, Walk Away.
Super informative. What you're
Walk
throwing
Away
down
by Cory
right now, yeah.
Doctorow. He's a young adult novelist. He wrote the book. I'll tell you in a second.
Oh my gosh.
I'm having it's for the love of the game, I think.
Okay.
He's like a sci-fi writer. I have a few of his books, but I haven't read any. Do you recognize the name Cory Doctorow?
Yeah.
Not.
I don't know from where, but
Yeah. Oh, he wrote In Real Life.
okay.
For one. For the Win is the young adult book he wrote.
Okay.
That was really popular. But In Real Life is the graphic novel
Okay.
that checks out all the time. Okay. No, I'm going to save that. That's too sad. Iris Johansson has a new book, Nick. I said Irish. It's Iris.
Iris, yeah.
Johansson. Why'd you go boo?
I
Have you ever read any of her stuff?
read one of her things.
Didn't
yeah.
like
one
it.
of her Eve Duncan books.
Oh, so I
I
guess
didn't like it.
I guess as a reader, you're no easy target.
That's true. Yeah.
That's
you're
the
right.
name of her book.
Oh well, I still don't
Yeah.
want to read it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Strout has a new book. Anything is possible.
Okay.
Is the new book.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with her
Yeah.
work?
One of the Pulitzer Prize.
What, do you remember what it was for? She has My Name
I think
is
it's
Lucy.
I think it's Olive Kittredge that won the Pulitzer
Yes.
Prize.
My Name is Lucy Barton,
Yeah.
Oliver Kittredge,
Burgess
and
Boys.
she was in the short stories of 2013.
Yep.
So, new book by her.
Nice.
We've got Golden Prey. It's a prey novel by John Sanford.
Oh boy, look out!
We like to play this game with John Sanford books. What number book do you think this is?
48.
27.
Oh, well,
Yeah, not as great.
no, I overshot.
All right, I've got and Beartown, a novel. It looks snowy.
Is this the bear book that you're trying to tell me about?
No, that was something
Okay.
else. It was like it's cavemen.
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh boy, you know who could have looked that up for us this whole time? Roger.
Yeah, but he's too steamed from that
Yeah.
rap.
So people say Beartown. It's finished.
Really?
A tiny community nestled in the deep forest. It's slowly losing ground to the ever-encroaching trees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what? All the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys.
Mm.
Beartown explores the hopes that bring small communities together, the secrets that tear it apart, and the courage it takes for an individual to go against the grain.
Okay.
It's the story of a small forest town.
All right.
All right. No, we'll get through this nonfiction now.
Okay.
There's some sad. There's a sad one I'm going to save for last. But we got Last Hope Island, Britain occupied Europe, and the Brotherhood that helped turn the tide of war by Leon Olson. I have a World War II / Holocaust display up in the young adult section.
Yes, you do.
Right now. So I thought that. Captivate, The Science of Succeeding with People by Vanessa Van Edwards. I thought I should just let you know this exists.
Oh,
Since you have...
I wrote the foreword, actually, so...
Oh.
Pretty good.
Okay, well, you beat me to the joke I was about to make.
Oh,
The
all right.
Operator, firing the shots that killed, guess who? Osama bin Laden.
Oh.
And my years as a SEAL team warrior. I should say one... Oh, this is by Robert O'Neill. I should say I added the guess who.
Oh, okay.
That's not in the title.
Yeah, that would...
Do you
would
think
kind of...
this is going to become a American Sniper movie?
No.
Okay. This is a sad book, man.
Mm-hmm.
Will's Red Coat, the story of one old dog who chose to live again, by Tom Ryan. There's a
Wow.
picture of like a white Scottish Terrier in a red little coat. It's a true story of acceptance, perseverance, and the possibility of love and redemption. Tom Ryan adopted Will, a frightened, deaf, and mostly blind elderly dog.
Wow.
And brought him home to live with him in Atticus. Atticus! All right, we'll move on. This is too sad. It's the story of a dog, heartbreaking, uplifting, and unforgettable.
Can't handle it.
You really? But you like your
sad
dog books.
things?
Yeah.
I'm not a sad dog.
That's weird because I got
No
you.
way.
I got you Marley and Me for your birthday.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm crying already.
You don't want Hachi, do you?
No. Definitely not.
No, it's about a dog.
I don't wanna talk about
He
it.
just waits there.
No,
All
he doesn't.
This is good news for you, man. The Nightingale, a novel by Kristen Hanna,
Wow.
is in paperback.
Oh, thank goodness.
So
Wow.
I don't think you're gonna have to see it on the hardcover fiction
Probably
bestsellers
not
list anymore.
No. I've read it, We did it for a book club.
I did know that.
Yeah.
No, I mean I forgot it. At one point in my life, I knew.
Yeah, you did.
So, you happy about that though? We don't have to bring it up anymore.
Yeah, and yet you did.
Well, I thought I'd let you know that you're done.
Okay.
This is the end.
Okay.
Your only friend, the end.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go tell us what's coming out in the not so distant future?
Nice. Yeah, these are books that are mostly coming out in June. We got a couple in May, but I'm going to stick to that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm nervous about this, I got to tell you, because I feel like Grish might be on the verge of a three-peat here.
A three-peat?
With books that I hate.
How do you can't tell that by
No, I can't. I'm worried. Like, I hope that that's
Okay.
not true. But John Grisham coming out with a book pretty quick on the heels of his last
Whistler?
book, The Whistler.
Yeah, well, he
which
needs to get ready for the new holiday season
I
coming up in
hated.
8
So,
months.
Yeah, this is just in time for Father's Day, right? We're coming up in
Oh, yeah, there
June,
you go. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, John Grisham's Camino Island.
Ooh.
Camino Island, coming out June 6th. A gang of thieves stage a daring heist from a secure vault deep below Princeton University's Firestone Library. Their loot is priceless, but Princeton has insured it for $25 million.
Nice.
Bruce Cable owns a popular bookstore in the sleepy resort town of Santa Rosa on Camino Island in Florida. He makes his real money, though, as a prominent dealer in rare books. Very few people know that he occasionally dabbles in the black market of stolen books and manuscripts. One more character. Mercer Mann is a young novelist with a severe case of writer's block who has recently been laid off from her teaching position. She's approached by an elegant, mysterious woman working for an even more mysterious company. A generous offer of money convinces Mercer to go undercover and infiltrate Bruce Cable's circle of literary friends, ideally getting close enough to him to learn his secrets. But eventually, Mercer learns far too much, and there's trouble in paradise as only John Grisham can deliver it.
Look.
So this is weird. It's not a legal fiction, but it's kind of
Right.
like it's still in that wheelhouse. He hasn't really done that before.
Right.
When he breaks out of the legal fiction thing, it's usually something like a painted house or playing for
pizza,
pizza, where
yeah.
it's just like totally
Pizza baseball.
totally removed from it. So this is kind of an odd move for him. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe he's feeling a little stale on the old legal fiction. Maybe he's tired of it. He's gonna try
Yeah.
something new. I'm gonna read it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm gonna
Alright.
read it. See
Okay.
what I think. So I'll let you know.
Alright.
That's coming out June 6th. Ellen Hildebrand, The Identicals, from New York Times bestselling author Ellen Hildebrand, a summertime story about identical twins who couldn't be any less alike.
That's never been done.
But they look alike.
That's groundbreaking.
You know what?
If they don't put together their their divorced parents,
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
going to be able to do
either.
this.
You know what? My wife has a twin sister, and this comes out right before their birthdays. So,
Their birthday.
yeah, it's just one day. Yeah, but both of them. So maybe. I like Ellen Hildebrand's Christmas novels, but I've not read a non-Christmas
She's
novel.
not the one who wrote Unbroken.
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Oh, yeah, that's close. It's Hildebrand,
Ah.
but it's not,
Oh,
not the
jeez.
same thing. I know. Nora Roberts, look out. Not J.D. Robb.
Right, sure.
This is J.D. Robb's close friend and associate, Nora Roberts.
Daniel Steele.
Different. Different. Come Sundown by Nora Roberts, coming out May 30th. A saga of love. Oh, speaking of trying something new, Nora Roberts writing a love story. A saga of love, family ties, and Twisted Passions.
Twisted.
From the #1 New York Times best-selling author of The Obsession.
Darkness.
No, that was just The Obsession. Yeah. Nothing dark here.
Okay.
But thanks for trying.
That's all right.
Oh, you know what? This one, though, feels like it's just dripping with darkness. The Silent Corner by Dean Koontz, the start in a new series. This is Jane Hawk, Book 1. A dazzling new series debuts with a remarkable heroine certain to become a new icon of suspense.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Really? Propelled by the singular narrative genius of #1 New York Times best-selling author Dean Koontz. Wow. That's an odd thing. That's another odd thing to do.
What?
Starting a new, like, suspense series this late in the game.
What do you mean?
He's got some series. He's got Odd Thomas. He's got Frankenstein. Which
Those are both done.
They're both done, yeah. But going for, what does it say? Certain to become a new icon of suspense. Yeah. It's odd. Surprising.
I guess. So you just
late in the game.
want writers, after they've finished a series or two, to lie down and die?
No.
That's what it
No,
seems
he's
like you're
just more
saying.
known for standalones. And I'm not a Dean Koontz fan anyway, but some people, like in the book club, some of them are like, he's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much people ended up liking
People went
Frankenstein.
bananas for Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
Well, it must be a USA Network kind of fan group
I guess,
that you already
yeah,
had.
that's right,
Because that's
yeah.
definitely what it read like.
yeah. Coming out in large print this July, we'll have this in our collection. Secrets in Summer by Nancy Thayer. The Queen of Beach Reads returns to the shores of Nantucket in a novel about one memorable summer when flirtations flourish, family dramas play out, and scandalous secrets surface.
I'd call it flirtations and crustaceans.
I hope the book has that much alliteration. Yeah. I hope that wasn't just special.
Crustacean flirtations.
Oh, like Sebastian from Little Mermaid?
Yeah, he finally finds love.
Meets a lady? That'd
Yeah.
be great.
No.
Okay.
Sebastian is definitely asexual.
You think so?
I think so.
Maybe.
I just think
It's hard to say.
I think he doesn't have time for relationships on any format.
Sure.
He focuses on the music.
Yeah.
If music itself was a woman,
Yeah.
then yes.
Yeah.
Sebastian the Crab might, but
But music is his
music
lover.
is his passion. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He has no time for others.
Well, I think you're probably right. Let's check in with the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah, let's do it.
See what we got.
All right, so that's weird. Number 10's Sebastian's the Crab's Guide to Love.
Oh my
How I
gosh.
learned to stop listening to music and listen to my heart.
That's fiction or not?
By Sebastian the Crab.
Wow.
This is nonfiction.
Wow.
No, okay.
Well, it's good he's doing something with his retirement.
That's true. His retirement.
Yeah.
Like Disney lets their characters have retirement. You get a 2-week vacation and that's it. A year for life. Walt was strict.
Yeah, very strict.
So number 10 and number 9, they've sold equal number of copies.
Come on, 10 and 9.
Mississippi Blood by Greg Iles. You gonna read this?
Nope.
But you love Mississippi.
Do I?
You never stop talking
Never
about
been
it.
there.
You're always like, I love Mississippi. I love gumbo.
I don't remember.
Number 9 is The Lost Order by Steve Barry. Have you read this yet?
No.
You're a huge Steve Barry fan.
No, never read the
You're always
Steve Barry.
talking about the sweeter the Steve Barry, the better the read.
You thinking of Chuck Berry?
Are you super into Chuck Berry?
I like Chuck Berry.
Okay,
Recently passed away, Chuck Berry.
that's true.
Yeah, an icon, a
Yeah.
legend.
Okay.
Big influence on like Elvis, the Beatles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay. Number 8 and number 7, guess what? Also sold equal.
Oh, come on.
Song of the Lion. So
Distinguish
this is
yourself.
new. Anne Hillerman, the third Southwestern mystery featuring a Navajo police officer, Bernadette Maniletto, and her husband, Jim Chi.
Okay.
And then number 7 is North Mythology by Neil Gaiman. All right, so number 6, we've got a bunch of new books right here, man. Ready?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Number 6, Two from the Heart by James Patterson,
yeah.
Frank Constantine, Emily Raymond, and Brian Sitz.
Yeah, I remembered this one when it came out. I was very confused.
2 stories about the power
Yeah.
of stories.
Yeah, right. They're about stories.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's also called Inkheart.
yeah.
So, starring Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser.
Number 5.
He wishes.
Yeah, he wishes that was a trilogy.
Inkheart 2? Anytime?
Anytime. Number 5, The Burial Hour by Jeffrey Deaver.
No, can't handle it.
Deaver?
Yeah.
Why not?
Just gruesome.
Is he?
Yeah.
Lincoln Rhyme travels to Italy to investigate a case. Oh, I remember this. I tried to do the rap about,
Yeah.
hey, my name's Lincoln, but I'm not Abraham.
Yeah.
I've come to solve crimes across the land.
Yeah.
I've got my magnifying glass on hand.
Yeah. I guess I don't understand the rhyme scheme. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Number 4.
Leave the rapping to Ben.
To Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Number 4. One perfect, what do you think it is, Nick?
Murder.
Lie.
Love.
No, lie.
Lies.
One perfect lie.
One perfect lie.
By Lisa Scottoline. It's a high school baseball coach hiding his real identity.
I remember this one, yeah.
Possesses a threat. Poses a threat to an idyllic suburban community.
It is idyllic.
Number 3, All by Myself Alone by Mary Higgins Clark. Now, this is the Clark you don't like.
No, Carol Higgins Clark is the Clark that no one likes.
Oh!
Oh.
Wow.
No,
Throwing
that's-
some serious shade.
No, it's not true.
Number 2, this is shocking.
Okay.
In my opinion. Number 2, Thrawn by Timothy Zahn.
Wow.
The Origins of Grand Admiral Thrawn, an
Star
iconic
Wars
Star
is
Wars
in the
film.
air, man.
I get it, but was Rogue One even at number 2? Maybe it was.
I don't think it ever got that high, but Timothy Zahn writing his iconic character
I just feel like
when everybody has Star Wars fever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good time for it.
no, number 2 is pretty high up there.
It is.
I mean,
yeah. We'll see if it's still around next week.
that's
I
the
doubt
thing.
It will be.
Star Wars, they don't have legs.
No.
Um,
This might. I mean, Timothy Zahn is popular on his own.
you know who also doesn't have legs?
Who?
Darth Vader.
True.
Those
Yeah,
are
he's
those
got
are
that
robot
suit.
legs.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 1 is The Black Book by James Patterson and David Ellis. So that's why.
Two for Patty McPatterson's right
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
People are they're drinking the Patterson Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They love it.
Hey, speaking of Kool-Aid, I did that hilarious stand-up bit
Oh.
at Subway today about how vitamin water is basically just Kool-Aid for adults.
I'm not a part of this.
Can I do it? You want me to do it now?
I mean,
What's the deal? No. It's Kool-Aid, but for adults.
yeah, for adults.
All right. I'm done with that.
Okay.
What else have we got?
I
Should we play
think
Ben's
that's
song
it,
again?
right? No.
Should we just play it again?
No.
All right. Oh boy, that's a weird siren.
Got a lot of sirens outside if you're picking that up on the mic.
That's just like one siren that's almost asking for help itself.
Seriously.
Please help.
Crazy sound. All right, well.
Okay.
Oh, boy, Eric, I tell you what.
Did you call me Erica?
Worst thing happened to me. I finished a book.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to do. I got to get back into another book.
Gee,
Got to
Nick.
find a book to read.
I'm no doctor.
Where do I turn?
I'm no doctor.
What could be wrong with me?
But it sounds like you're in a book
A
rut.
book rut?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the book rut.
And welcome to our main segment.
Our main segment, yeah.
Talking about book ruts.
Yeah.
Eric, take it away. This is your baby.
As a book podcast,
Yes.
we're familiar and sympathetic
Yeah.
to those suffering from book rut.
You're not alone.
Book rut affects 2 out of 3 readers.
Really?
Every day.
Every day.
Yes, these
Wow.
statistics, of course, are real.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah,
come.
yeah.
We've got these from Med.
Yeah,
The website,
sure.
the Med website.
The Med book.
Med
yeah,
site.
Med book website.
Med.org.
So we put this out to our listeners
Yeah.
to hear if anybody else had some good suggestions on it.
So, a big reason I brought this up
Yes.
is because I feel like I just got out of a book rut.
I remember.
And
yeah.
it was vicious, this
Yeah.
one. But I looked on Goodreads, and apparently it's only been a month. It was only a month long. But I feel like if you're a regular reader,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a month long without knowing what to read is a long time.
I feel like I have the opposite problem of like not knowing what to read.
You have too
There's
much.
so many things that I
Yeah.
want to read.
Yeah. Hey, that's
It's hard
a
to,
thing
like-
too, though.
I try to figure out like, do I want to go with
Yeah.
like a mystery? Do I want like a genre? Do I want just like a straightforward
Yeah.
novel?
Yeah,
it's
we've
hard.
we've talked about dealing with your gigantic to read pile before.
Yeah.
in the podcast before. I can't remember what episode.
Classic episode. from
Roger,
the
could
past,
you
yeah.
could you look that up, Roger? Oh nope, he's looking
Wow.
at new earrings.
Okay. Yep.
I don't even think the earring he has right now is that good.
Looks good. I know it does.
No, not on him. I've seen
Terrible.
people with the one earring
Yeah.
that it looks
And it
great,
works, yeah.
and it is not on Roger.
Not Roger.
So
No.
I don't have the heart to tell him though.
I don't think you
Do you know
should.
I think he got it only like
He's already angry enough.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like 80 years old. He won't stop living.
good for him.
That's something you can say about Roger.
Good
Anyway,
for
book
him.
ruts.
Let's do it.
So we asked our listeners
Uh-huh.
what they do in a book rut.
Share.
But Nick, I'd like to know. You say you have the opposite problem, but
Yeah.
but when you deal with the real problem, the book rut problem.
Yeah.
How do you get out of it? Do you just have to? Do you have things to do, or do you just like write it out?
I have an old like faithful list of series and authors that I like,
Mm-hmm.
and when I read one of those, I sort of cross it off the list and
Mm-hmm.
just keep moving down. So then when I finish a book and I'm like, what do I read? And I don't
Mm-hmm.
have something like queued up in mind, I often will go back to that list and see like, what author haven't I read in a while, or what series or whatever haven't I read in a
Mm-hmm. Right.
while, and that's sort of like that. that takes away some of the choice. You know, I'll just sort of be like, okay, yes, I'll just do that, you know.
Right.
But that doesn't always work. Sometimes I'll just, like, I'll finish. It's hard, too, because I always have to, like, pack in the two book club books a month.
Right.
You know, then the things that I want to read just myself.
Right.
And so, like, I know I have to truck through those book club books. And I always try to do those, like, right away. So they're not hanging over my head. And then after that, I there's, like, an added pressure of, like, I can read whatever I want. I don't have to, like, be reading library books right now. I can do whatever I want. And so that makes
then you
it...
panic.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I just don't know. Like,
It's like when you find out
wisely.
it's like when you had an appointment and it gets canceled. You're like, I have a free hour.
Right.
And you just, and by the end of it, by 45 minutes later, you're like, I've wasted my hour.
Yep, exactly.
So-
Exactly. This is a problem I have in all aspects of my life. Be like the
Okay.
weekend. I'm like, how can I make the best of this weekend?
Yeah.
And then I stress about it
For some of us that like to relax, it makes it hard being your friend on the weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you don't answer my calls.
I don't answer your calls for lots of reasons.
Oh, okay, but that's okay, but that's one. So I guess my simple answer there is that I do have the list that helps me sometimes, and that works a lot
A
of the
reading
time.
journal.
And then other times I just go and, like, I stand on a chair in one of the rooms of my house that has
And torture your
books,
family.
and I'm like, I could do this, I could do this, and then I'll, like, read a few first lines, and my wife helps me.
You take 5 books, put dog treats in each of the book, put them on the floor, and see which one your dog
Yeah.
goes to.
Yeah.
And that's the book.
Because also, I've gotten better at it out of necessity, as we've discussed, but it's really hard for me to stop a book once I've started, too.
Yeah.
Like, even if I don't like it. So it's like an extra...
What do you-
Like, if I choose wrong, I'm going to be stuck in this
What do you think
monster.
causes a book rut? Because looking at my Goodreads to see like when this book rut, my last book rut happened, I ended up reading a bunch of books I didn't want to read. I read The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and I hated it, and it was like 500 pages long.
Yeah.
And I read Knights of Rodante, and then it just took me forever to pick something else up. And I wonder if I just didn't like what I was reading, and it was just so long that like.
It probably just sort of became a chore at that
Yeah,
point.
you just gotta take a break.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then it was just hard to get back. I mean, what do you think?
Causes it?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I think that can be it. You know, you read something or a couple things back to back that you really hate, and it makes you sort of be like, ugh, I got to pick something up. But you, like, the desire's gone a little bit.
it's the spaghetti again mentality.
Yeah.
like we've had spaghetti 5 days this week.
Right.
That sounds like a good week though
Yeah.
to me. Go on.
Yeah. I know that's why I always try to have a couple things in mind, like the next couple. Like, I want to read these couple books in the next, few cycles. But
I feel like mine do happen when I've been forced to read like things because of work or other things, and I haven't liked them necessarily, and I'm just like, ugh, I just want to read something that I want to read, but I also don't want to read it at the moment.
it can happen the other way too. Like, if you read something that's just like great and you don't want it to end,
Nothing will
then
make
like
it-
you pick
yeah.
something else up and you're like, oh geez, this is not what I want at all.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can either be, I think, because you're trapped in crappy books and you just like don't want to read,
Right.
or what you've read was so good you're trying to like find something that's on that level, and that makes it extra hard.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Sometimes I like things that are just like sloppy and quick and just like no depth really, just sort of like fun adventure.
Patterson.
Or, exactly. Or like a Star Trek book or
Yeah.
something that's just like going to move me along and just be a fun little thing. I always like to try to like, I guess I would suggest that too with book ruts. You should, if you have a couple that you can just kind of slide in there.
Appetizers.
Like, this is going to take me 2 days to
Yeah.
finish,
Yeah.
or 1 day even.
Well,
as the case may be.
That's why the Hugo list is so good for me right now, because some of the older stuff is very short.
Yeah.
That I picked up Gateway because I looked at it, I'm like, I'll finish this quickly, even though I didn't. But just the size of it was like, oh, I want to read this because it's on the list.
Yeah.
It's in a genre I like.
Yeah.
And apparently I can finish it in a quick amount of time.
Yeah.
So like all of that helped me get out. I'm also looking though, I had a book right after Halloween that didn't finish until like December.
Wow.
So I have no idea what was going on then. That was a bad time then.
Yeah.
Guess I was just busy, I hope. So I think you're right about like maybe that's a good thing about bookshots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well, it doesn't have to be a book shot, but I do. I mean, some people I think kind of turn their nose up at things that, like a Patterson or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they have no value, and I
But
just
they're palate
think it's-
cleansers.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know,
So-
it's like I'm gonna sit down and watch this goofy movie versus like I'm gonna sit down and watch The Godfather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's different purposes for different things.
I'd watch a lot of things instead of The Godfather.
Yeah.
So
You don't like The Godfather?
The first one.
I love
is good.
the first one.
The first one's good.
Anyway.
I think the second one is boring and overrated.
One of
and we just got a whole bunch of hate mail right now.
Yeah,
let me read it.
We
Whoa.
did. One of our listeners is talking about this. Facebook user Chris says, "Go to the library or any bookstore and just wander the aisles, browse the titles, read the book jacket. Something will always catch your eye. If you don't want to get involved in a long novel, pick up a book or short stories or poetry."
Yeah, we got a lot of responses on our Facebook.
I don't really like short stories.
No, a short story is not going to save my day.
Yeah.
So.
But I do. I mean, I think the concept is the same as what I'm saying, though. It's something that you're not going to get stuck in for a month. You know, something that you can just kind of like breeze through and be like, "Oh, that was fun," and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, we have two more on Facebook. Hillary, who says, "I go to a bookstore and commence judging books by their..." So that's similar to Chris. And she commences judging books by their covers.
By their covers.
Which probably isn't a bad way to go. I mean,
I
if the
found
cover,
a lot of great books based on cover alone. So
yeah, the whole don't judge a book by its cover thing is kind of baloney.
Right.
And then
I guess don't judge a book exclusively by its cover, but I think that's pretty crucial in
it's part of the package. It's like
exactly.
saying don't judge a movie by its soundtrack. If you hate the soundtrack, you're gonna hate the movie.
Yeah.
And Joanne also says browsing. Oh wait, she says Goodreads. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So myself, I talked about the Hugo list. Having that is helpful. Having like a list of books that I need to get to, that I want to get to. Something I noticed recently is the New York Times bestsellers list. Because I felt like I was in a book last summer, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to read, so I grabbed The Girls, because it was on the New York Times bestsellers list so much. And there have been times where I've been like, oh, what am I going to read? And I look at the New York Times bestsellers list, I'm like, oh, maybe that. I don't necessarily grab something from it, but seeing, that something is very popular sometimes like recharges me. So,
yeah, well, that's helpful to have things like that point out, like, because the New York Times bestseller list is kind of a popularity contest. So you can see, like, this is what a lot of people are into. So that can kind of be a good judge of that. Yeah. On Facebook, also, Tina suggests kind of scoping out what other people are reading and seeing something that appeals to you.
Yeah.
And that's how I find some of my favorite books. The Testament.
Yeah.
Somebody was reading the Testament, and I just kind of like was kind of reading a little bit along and got hooked on it. Fall of Giants, another thing. Ken Follett's Century Trilogy.
Tina also mentions that she finds people who have similar tastes and sees what they're reading.
Right.
Which is probably a good idea, too. I used to go to a bookstore. This is in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, and they have a staff pick section, but they put the staff and everything, and there was one staff member there who read sci-fi and fantasy, and he was constantly putting stuff like, oh, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. So... That does help finding somebody.
Yeah.
So I have Shelly on Facebook. She says, try reading in a new location, somewhere peaceful and comfy. But to me, that sounds like a recipe for a nap.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you're going to get out of the book run. It also sounds like maybe Shelly is at an actual cat.
Oh, it could be.
And
that'd be a cute name for a cat.
Yeah, Shelly the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she also says, make sure you have your favorite ball of twine.
Oh, really?
And a good sunbeam that's going to last the day.
Wow.
So...
You're going to have to keep moving around.
Donna on Facebook says they either pick up a book that is not their normal genre, which is kind of what I was talking about with the New York Times bestsellers list, or go back to a classic book that I love, even from childhood. But you, Nick, you don't reread.
No.
So that advice would never help you. Is there a situation where you would ever reread a book?
I've reread a few books in my life. I wouldn't say never. And sometimes, like...
But you don't do it for fun. You don't do it to, like, revisit the book, right?
No.
That's crazy to me.
No, I guess an exception to that rule would be, like, if there's a book that I love that my wife hasn't read, we'll occasionally, like, read it out loud together. I've reread a few things that way.
All right.
But typically, no, I don't. We have a decent amount of people mentioning Goodreads.
That's true.
Using Goodreads.
Yeah. You want to read some of those?
Cynthia says Goodreads. What else do we have here? Carrie on Facebook says, I browse Goodreads or the STLS Overdrive site. What do you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I use Goodreads like religiously. I use it constantly, like to update my progress and to mark things that I want to read and stuff. But I don't think that I have ever browsed it looking for a book to read.
Well, Joanne mentions also browsing Goodreads for an afternoon. She says recommendations and new releases. She gets 10 new books to be in her read list. and they do have lists
Yeah.
on there. Like you could be like best YA books about
Yeah.
World War II, best female-led sports stories and
Right.
stuff. Like you can go through all that, and they'll have like a whole list of things. But
I use those to make displays in the
yeah,
library.
see,
but
I use
do-
those as, but I don't necessarily grab that. I don't think Goodreads has really helped me, unless it is like I'm noticing other people reading the same book that's maybe also on the New York Times bestsellers list, or I've heard other places, and I see like,
I guess I've seen friends like marking things, but to just like look through the Goodreads selection, I
Right.
don't really do that.
yeah,
I guess I don't. I mean, I guess because we're here and like I mean, I order all the adult books and then
Yeah.
I see everything come through. They sort of just like parade in front of my eyes. So I don't have to do that, but I don't think I've ever. I guess in a bookstore or a library, I suppose, but like in a bookstore where you can go and pick things up and flip through, I do discover things that I wouldn't normally think of, like books that I wouldn't order for here or that just wouldn't be on my radar. Being able to pick it up and flip through is helpful.
You know what happened between Halloween and Christmas?
What?
The election. That explains
yeah.
why I was in a book rut.
That'll make you a sad little clown.
Kara on Facebook also, actually, Kara and Susan both on Facebook say, I reread an old favorite. I'll even do just a skim through of my favorite parts, and that usually reminds her of how much she loves reading.
That's interesting. I
She's
would
good to
never
go.
ever do that.
And Susan says she likes to pick up something she knows I love and read through that, and it reinvigorates her to find
Something
new
that
stories.
she knows you love?
No, that she loves.
Oh,
She's using
okay.
you in the.
I see.
I changed
Yeah.
tenses throughout
Right,
that
you did.
thing.
You
So
did.
Kendra on Facebook says usually just try to write it out.
Huh.
So
Not helpful.
maybe ask people for good book suggestions, or just stare at my bookshelf until something jumps out at me. I
Yeah,
have
that's-
the staring at. I mean, you were talking about that, but that's also like I've sat down on my floor because I have
Yeah.
the 3 shelf bookcases
You
that are
do.
right on the floor.
Yeah.
I just sit down and I just turn my head back and forth between my bookshelves because like I've been buying a lot of like used books and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have, and I'm like, what is getting? Is it the title or the cover or just maybe even what I think this book is about? Is it going to grab me?
I try to limit like how many books I actually buy for myself,
Yeah.
just because it feels foolish when surrounded by every book I could ever
Yeah.
want. Especially because I don't reread, so like, what's
Yeah.
the point?
Well, I don't
But
buy.
when I do,
Yeah.
I always try to like. I've kind of made this silent deal with myself
Mm-hmm.
that like if I'm gonna buy a book, it's because I'm ready and want to read it like right
Same.
now.
That's
know.
yeah. When I
Like,
buy,
am I going to start this book today? If the answer is no, then I don't buy it.
like I bought Bruce Springsteen's biography.
Yeah.
That day because I was gonna start it
Yeah.
that day,
Yeah.
and it's same thing. Like I was at a bookstore and I asked them if they had Kim Stanley Robinson's New York, whatever the date is, 2143 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was buying other used books that
Yeah.
day, but if I had bought that, I would have sat down and
Yeah.
read it then.
Right.
And you kind of have like to accept that you're about to spend like $25 on a
Right.
brand new book. You have to be like, no, I'm
Yeah.
reading it now.
Yeah.
No
I don't
kidding.
want to wait.
So, so some people are like you, Nick. They got
Like me?
They got to browse your shelves.
Yeah.
So you got Goodreads, book suggestions. I find it rough. Like you and I, we have different tastes. So I can be like, Nick, I don't know what to read. Give me a suggestion.
You've done that before.
Was it
You
good?
found some things.
Did it help? Sometimes your suggestions are so bad, it helps me.
Yeah, I just
I'm
really.
like, oh, that's a terrible. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I know. Are there people? Do you have like friends or family that you can be like, what would they suggest one to me?
Maybe my brother Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have a similar taste in the in certain writers, like
Yeah,
Grisham and
that genre, like
yeah.
the Michael Connelly, John Grisham of the world, we tend to
Yeah.
agree on. So yeah, he'll push me in the direction sometimes.
Authors?
Let me ask you this:
Uh-huh.
Do you usually have the next few books planned out in your head?
Let's see. So I'm reading The Drowned World right now.
Yeah.
And I have all those books I just got from the at the used bookstore.
Uh-huh.
So I think I have like 4 or 5 possibilities. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't know which one it's gonna be, but there are some times I'm like, first I'm gonna read this, then I'm gonna read this. That doesn't happen all the time. It's nice when it does because then it's. But I also have to read, like you said, you have to read book club books. Like I try to read a young adult book every now and then, and I think sometimes that's the speed bump because I'm reading it because I have to, but also sometimes it's not very good.
Yeah.
So it's better when it's something I'm reading.
I mean, usually the book club books that we pick our books that I'm interested in,
Right.
vaguely anyway.
Oh, now we're learning. Now we're seeing how the sausage is made.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But even so, just knowing that I have to read it,
Right.
puts a little bit of a damper on it. So
Authors?
I think authors. What do you mean?
Do you ever, are there like authors that you like? Book rut. Where's this author? Authors that you think can get you out?
It's more things like the Murder She Wrote series. That's why I read Sunny Randall and
Okay.
Jesse Stone. I was like, I just want something quick and
Right.
fun that I know that I'll get into. I can't remember what I was just finishing up in recent weeks, but yeah, it's more like I go to like series fiction
Right.
at that point because like I know the characters, you know, so there's you can just kind of dive right in
Right.
because you know the world.
Right.
So that's usually what I find the most helpful.
For me, it used to be Michael Crichton, but now I've read most of his stuff. I used to be able, like, I don't know what to read, and then I would just grab a Crichton book I haven't read. But I don't think I necessarily have like an author at the moment that I'm like, oh, I gotta read something. Neil Gaiman was almost there, but he writes too sparsely. It feels like in terms of just like fiction. So I don't really have, that.
Yeah, I mean, I have favorite authors, obviously, but yeah, I think I do tend to go more with the series. I think that's the part that makes it easier for me, knowing what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
were there any other?
No,
I think we covered a lot of user.
Yeah, we sure did.
So I don't think we got anything new there, but. It's rough. It's rough. I mean, when you really can't find something,
well,
I get really depressed.
I know we just said
That's why I try to stagger with like graphic novels and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I've finished my book, and like if I can't pick something right then I'll read the rest of the graphic novel and kind of go back and forth. So that's helpful.
I know we were talking about the book jackets or the book covers and everything, but sometimes like the cover is enough to get me out of the book.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like the cover, it's just like it has to just be like a one-shot picture.
Yeah.
But sometimes the picture itself is like imaginative or enough that it like just gets your brain like imagining things about the picture.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it's just like the jump start your brain needs to be like, wait, he's got a robot armor and he's in the river. And then you just start like putting it together and you're like, oh, all right, I'm just gonna read this book or something else. It's like hot wiring your car.
Yeah.
So do you hot wire your car a lot?
Oh sure, yeah. I just yanking wires and twisting them together, and sometimes it starts. Sometimes I wake up 3 days later with no eyebrows. It's just whatever.
Sure. I was wondering why you chose to shave your eyebrows now. So suddenly.
Oh well, actually, this is not anything to do with it. I just was watching a Whoopi Goldberg movie and thought maybe I don't need eyebrows. But
okay, I've never really thought about Whoopi not having eyebrows.
Whoopi doesn't have eyebrows.
Is that true?
It is true.
I gotta look up a
You
picture
can't
of Whoopi Goldberg
unsee
right
it.
now.
Like once you, yeah.
All right, so that's the end of the segment.
Yeah, it sure is. On Whoopi Goldberg's eyebrows,
Yeah.
we're choosing to go
hopefully,
off.
if you were in a book rut, some of those suggestions
Yep.
will help out. It's rough.
Yeah.
When you're somebody that would classify yourself as a reader.
Yeah.
Like not just somebody who reads, but like I'm a reader.
Yeah.
A book rut, it's rough.
Yeah, well, I think that's an interesting point because I think there's a difference between people who like read regularly, but like for me, I'm never not reading
Right.
a book. Like as soon as I finish one, I pick up another one, and that's not always true. So
Right.
I think if that's your standard, like you're always going to be reading a book, it's going to be much harder.
Yeah.
You're looking at Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm looking at pictures of Whoopi Goldberg right now. My
No
mouth
eyebrows.
is agape.
Yeah.
Since when does she not have eyebrows?
Always. Back to Jumpin' Jack Flash, no eyebrows.
All right, I've got this. This option is to look up young Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
There's nothing.
I'm telling you.
It doesn't
yeah.
even look like she had them and lost them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your mind right on mic, but-
I've been watching Whoopi Goldberg movies since I was a kid. Like she was in Star Trek Next Gen. I remember my mom watching that.
Kinda.
And Sister Act.
Sister Act.
No eyebrows.
Did you watch Jumpin' Jack Flash? It's one of my all-time
No.
favorite movies. I haven't seen it forever,
I
but
did.
I love it.
I was one of the few people who watched Theodore Rex.
Oh, boy.
so
No, you're on your own there. I can't help you. All right, well.
all right. Well, if you want to get out of book rut, just look at a picture of Whoopi Goldberg
Yeah.
and see that she has no eyebrows.
Yeah. Do you want to have a Whoopi Goldberg film festival? Just the two of us watching some Whoopi Goldberg
All
movies?
I can think of that I would want to watch is Sister Act 1.
Not even Sister Act 2 Back in the Habit?
No.
You're crazy.
What about Sister Act 3?
That's not a thing.
No, my grandmother,
It's not
she
a
had
real
it on
thing.
tape.
No, she didn't.
I used to watch it.
You're thinking of the wrong thing.
No, like there was the
No.
part in the movie where
You're
she
thinking
would
of
like with the
nonsense.
choir.
No,
The choir.
First movie.
Right? And then the second one, she's teaching the girl from The Cosby Show.
that's also the...
She's in the second one.
3? Sister Act 3? No, there's no Sister Act 3. But you know what there is? A lot of stuff going on at this library. So let's talk about some of that. Well, I already mentioned we have our poetry reading on the 25th.
Could you call that a poetry slam?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Senior Citizen Matinee, we're showing Neil Simon's The Sunshine Boys, 2 o'clock on April 25th.
Sunshine.
We've got a ballet, Paper Moon by Genesee Dance Theater.
Oh, this is embarrassing. I have to be the one to inform you. It's pronounced ballet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Like a Albert Camus, right? Same kind of thing.
Yeah, like something he would have written.
You want to use that last letter. Anyway, Paper Moon is coming here Thursday, the 27th, I want to say.
Paper Moon.
At 7 o'clock, so you can check that out. A lot of things exciting going on next month, too. We got a concert from Sorrow Estate, concert from the Probables. A lot of cool stuff happening.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes, that's true. Book Club's currently reading The Blessing Way by Tony Hillerman and Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty.
I didn't realize you were doing that as a book club. I thought that was just a book you picked up just for you.
It is, actually. I just picked it up and read it, and then we were going to do Anne Patchett's Commonwealth now.
Okay.
But they're all still listed as new.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't get it, so I had to push that later, and I slotted in Big Little Lies.
Nice.
So
that's why you're the director,
if
man.
you're suggesting that I chose Big Little Lies to save myself some work, I'm frankly insulted.
Okay. We've got the teen photo show. I've got all the photos.
Oh my gosh, yes.
As soon as this podcast is done, I need
This
to.
is a wealth of photos, too.
It's a wealth of art.
This might be the biggest that we've ever had.
Maybe I'll count them all up and tell you.
It's
Last
a lot.
year we
It is a
hit
lot.
50, I
Yeah.
think. So if we
But
have,
I think that was the benchmark. I don't
Yeah.
think we'd had more than 50.
if we have
prior
more
to that.
than if we have more than 50 this year, then it is the
Yeah, we're going to break a champagne bottle right over your skull.
But after this, I got to go
Celebrate.
and start hammering nails in
Yeah.
the walls and hanging up photos, placing them all around. They're all different sizes, so I got to
Yeah.
get a different space for each one of them.
I know, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's
Yeah.
a great program. I'm glad that Brian Ogilvy's coming back to judge.
To judge it, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I volunteered to you that I would judge it, but
Yeah.
then you realize most of my judging is like 90s slam comedy.
Yeah.
And like very offensive.
Yeah, just you standing in front of a brick wall.
Yeah.
Joking about stuff.
joking about the photos and
Yeah.
And like, what's the deal with this photo? A cat?
That's no good.
Yeah. So great turnout. We've got Anime Club every Wednesday, 5:30 to 7:30. I almost said 9:30.
Up
I
in
had
the
a heart
teen
attack.
space.
That's
Woo.
it. Yep, the teen. We had a record amount of people come to last week's too. I ran out of all the food. But it's been a good time. What else do we got? Oh, we got Moana in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're showing the Disney animated film
Love it.
Moana.
Great movie.
In 2 weeks. That will be a Friday. That's May 5th, I want to say.
Yeah.
May 5th at 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, watch Moana, go to the movies, watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Great day.
Yeah.
Great afternoon.
So, and then I think that's it. I mean, we've got the summer, and well, I guess we got like a month and a half until summer.
Yeah.
So, then we got summer reading program.
Coming up soon.
Boy.
Well, remember, you can always talk to us on Twitter at All the Book Show, Facebook,
Yeah.
David A. Howe Public Library. And please take a minute and leave us a review on the iTunes Store.
Yeah.
Helps people find us.
We're on SoundCloud at
SoundCloud.com.
All the Book Show.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook. Did you already do all this?
David A. Howe Public
Did I
Library.
zone out?
Yeah.
Did you already announce
Maybe.
all the- Okay. And that's it.
Upcoming podcast, we're going to be talking about the 90s. We're going to be talking
That's episode
about
90, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Michael Crichton's posthumous releases. We're going to do some
Jeez, that's right.
Lonely Hearts Book Club. A lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah,
So,
so
remember,
this is next week is 89.
89.
So yeah. Do you know what we're talking about? Do you know which of those we're talking about?
Michael Keaton's Batman. We're going to talk about.
We're talking about Michael Keaton's.
came out in 89.
Okay, I get
So
it
we're
now.
gonna be talking
Yeah,
about
sure.
that. So- no, I don't know what we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
Something fun and exciting. That's all I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, Eric and I are going to go watch Whoopi Goldberg's cinema history, and we'll report back. So we'll see you at episode 89.
The color purple.